Little waders on. Cheers, Andy.
So what depth are we in here, Wayne?
17 feet.
17 feet, so shallow, yeah?
Yeah. What we do, we always keep the engine running, because you never know where that rope's going. Until you actually sit at anchor, keep the engine running. You won't want to move off the rope and won't swing you around onto the rope.
So I've got a running ledger there, going to drop a big bait down. On mono this time, that wire. I've got a sardine on, that's been in the freezer, rather large. Sardine, but it's been in there a while. And just see what's that. You never know with a big bait. And I'm just going to drop this one down, so we're well inshore. And of course, with even soft ragworm, you want to pop. You can see me just force it and pop the body over the eye of the hook, thread it the line, you know, up the line a bit. And I like to leave a little tag or tail end there, and you can see I've got a little yellow bead there as a sort of sight marker trying to attract any fish. I'm using a stone for a weight. You can buy these on a little running bead, and it's actually, I think it's called stones, S-T-O-N-Z or something. But it's got a swivel inside the stone, and as in case it's over rough ground, it might be what you would call, I call it an expendable weight, for sea fishing anyway. I cast out across the tide or current there, and I'm just seeing, because it is a different density to lead, obviously the stone sinks slower, and see if I can bump it all round. And the main thing is, look, you see I'm trying to feel the stone bumping along the seabed there. Wayne's in here, plenty of bites there, and that is ragworm for you. It's a great bait.
It's a lovely bream, in fact, for this time of year. You know, so late in the season, and look at that. I don't want to get spiked by him, because it hurts. Look at it come off. What a beauty. What a cracker.
Yeah, still there. So, fish on, guys. No idea what the wind's going to be like in a mic, but this is on that stone weight, which I was a bit dubious about. I thought it wasn't going to actually hold bottom, because there's a bit of flow going past. Well, it's not a small one. Oh goodness me, no. There's one other one, Wayne, that would generally fight all the way to the frying pan.
Yeah, oh, they're more than keepers, they are. As I said, 23 centimetres each size.
He's gone. That was a real nice bream, that one, Wayne. I mean, it's going off. It'd be put back anywhere, but that was a very nice bream, I have to say. There's nothing more satisfying than catching a fish on a bait that you think, oh, that bait's no good.
Cold. So that's why it's in that rank condition. But as we improve it, it still catches.
That was a very nice bream. Yeah, pounded a bit, you know, it's a nice one. I've been pounding half that one. Well, on the old stone weight. I didn't say it was a right Namby cast. Well, that tells you there's plenty of small fish down there, people. Look at what they've done to that sardine. Not the big bass or big fish I was after, but it shows you lots of nibble bites down there. Can go back down again though. Obviously sardine is a soft bait anyway. Oh, I don't mind because it also acts as a sort of bit of chum, keep him in the area. Wayne?
Yeah.
That's a rattler.
Little wallop on it.
10 tons of weed, and underneath the weed, guys, a tiny bream. Must be these guys that are stripping that sardine off.
Oh, this is better. This is a good fish, right?
You're on the other one. I heard the reel.
Literally just dropped it straight down there, down the front of the boat, back of the boat. Well. Oh, come on.
Was he obviously bumped off? So I feel they might want it nailed on the bottom. That lead is made from an oyster shell, guys, literally from an oyster shell. I made a mould of the oyster shell. So I'll place fishing, so I fully expect to catch a very nice place, 2 pounds. Well, no shortage of bites, Wayne.
Well, the first 5 minutes nothing, and then the last 10 constant. At the moment all bream, but I tell you, for late in the season they're nice bream, you know. Yeah,
there's a couple of good fish in there.
If you were having a barbecue, you would you don't need to come out here for 15 minutes. I mean, look at this, it's lovely.
Is that a double?
Yeah, it looks like a double hit, but
good bit of sport though.
That top one, he would be a barbecue keeper if you wanted him, but beautiful.
And again here, Wayne, look.
Yeah.
It's a stripper, he's stripping line. Start the engine. Start the engine, cast the buoy off. Woo, 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 woo. It's good to see a bit of action, isn't it, with bites and stuff.
Yeah, I'll say. Well, crikey, Graeme, I haven't even sorted out the other rods.
Exactly, yeah.
There. I think I might put a float out just to see if I can pick up something different. Well, watch that rod behind you.
Yep.
There's got to be some weed on here as well.
Oh, he's bumped off, didn't he? See him bump off, yeah.
This is a nice fish, Graeme. Unless there's 2 on there, this really is a nice fish.
We've got one small one on there. Put that down. Let's have a look. There's colour. I see colour. Don't think we want a harpoon, but it's a good one.
The other line, that's why.
Oh, is that what you want to get a line there?
But again,
no shortage of bream, is there?
No, lovely fish, really nice, really fat. I mean, and what are we, 5 minutes from the slipway?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, got these prawns, and just took the shell off, just cutting them into little tiny sections, relatively small sections. Bream, crackers for it. Absolutely love it.
supermarket stuff, is it, mate?
No, it's from
Fresh fish shop.
Yeah, I got it from Caution Angling, but they're relatively cheap as well. And I mean, I'm putting quite, I say small. That's quite a big bit of prawn, but for the little look I've got. But they're absolutely going mad for it, really are. And I'm not using any finesse here. Just make sure it's on the hook. Which some people look at that. I mean, if I was casting that at any distance, that'd come off.
Probably fly off, yeah.
But I'm not, and literally all I'm doing is putting it at the back of the boat there, and I'll be amazed if that doesn't get hit fairly quickly.
Got one on the other rod too now, eh?
The other one going as well?
Yeah, he's going, yeah.
Yeah, it's been nothing but action. I mean, I'll put a float out because there's too many.
Might get gar on it, you reckon? Yeah.
I would like to think so. Yeah, gar, maybe a mackerel. Yeah, get a bit of a scent trail going here. Here, Graeme.
Oh, yeah.
A nice pull down on there. Very nice.
Yeah, he's on. How long do you think they stay here raining these breeds?
Well,
early winter?
Yeah, possibly right into winter. But I mean, look at that. That's a lovely chunky fish. Absolutely. I mean, what could you want? And they give such a good scrap. Yeah, add him on a little bit of mackerel. We don't want them. We're not eating them today, so
Back you go.
sounds like you've got a bite.
No, it's me. I'll put it out of gear. It's all very well using heavy boat rods, but I think there's more and more sea anglers going over to using freshwater rods for, I'm going to call it light to medium fishing now. And of course you can get some really big fixed spool outfits if you want them, you know, what you used to call threadline reels, but they're spinning reels effectively. And look, yeah, I'm just using a regular freshwater rod and reel outfit here and using it for catching small fish, all great fun. They are more than ample, and there you can see in the background I'm using a nut for a bait, just a weight of a nut. Don't have to kill all the fish, throw them back, you know, you don't have to take them all. And it was really pretty good day's fishing for small fish. We're very close to shore, in relation to where we normally go, miles offshore, very close to shore, and you can see plastered with rods. So when he's on the float here, we've moved several times, come back to a little inshore wreck, and he's got
mini marlin.
Yeah, little garfish on a boat. There's a nice one.
Look at that. Look at that, lovely garfish. There you go.
And look at yourself as well. That's bigger than the other day, Wayne.
Yeah, that's a beautiful fish actually. Look at them. They are so they're so handsome. They're just lovely things. Look at the green. All the scales come off in my hands. He's coming for bait anyway. So absolutely stunning. Them beaks. I mean, they're crazy looking things, aren't they? Really. But great flatfish bait. Oh, no, it's not.
Is that the same size you had on there?
Lift it out of the air, just a little squid. Yeah, she hasn't gone. It's my bad. What I want to do is shorten it a little bit. Make it a bit thinner. And feed that round the hook slightly. A bit more than that actually.
I'm amazed the mackerel's not had that, in fairness.
There we go.
Up on the
Perfect.
surface, yeah.
Can I put this out or not?
That's chum up, yeah, whatever, yeah, it's got to go. That's it.
So yesterday I was fishing a species hunt yesterday. We took out quite a bit of various baits with us, including this unwashed squid. Now it wasn't that colour yesterday. It was that colour yesterday. So that's been in my cool box, although the ice all melted. But that it's gone. I mean, it's still quite cold, but that's how pink that's gone overnight and this morning. That'll still work. Many years ago, when squid was £5 for a £5 box, then we chucked that away at the end of the day because it was only a fiver, so we'd use what we use and throw the rest away for the fish. Now we don't because it's so expensive. But that, although it's that colour, and years ago I wouldn't have used that, I'd have thought, no, that's had it. We'll put some bits of this on in a minute and we'll show you it catching fish, because that still works.
Now Wayne's put a bit of chum in the water, chop some of that squid tentacles up, that pink stuff he's just telling you about, and floating on the surface, and that's obviously pulled some fish up. And looks like he's on another needlefish, I would call them. They're garfish, really. Indeed, it is. Not bad size, Wayne.
No, a beautiful fish. Yeah, look at him. Absolutely fabulous turbot bait, and that's why he's coming home. He's throated the hook anyway, so I'll give him a knock on the head. There we go. There's a float set up there. About a metre, no, not even that, 600mm of line. Nice little strong sharp hook. Here's some of that mouldy squid. Let's stick the tentacle on, feed it on a bit like a worm on that little hook. That'll do. Don't want too much overhanging, probably just about that much to wiggle around. And that is what we're catching these guards on. Flip back behind the boat. Let it go about 50 foot behind the boat. Offer a few little freebies in the chum trail, and they find it very quickly, guys, and think that's a free meal, and it isn't. And there he is, Mr. Garfish.
Bit of pink squid, yeah.
With exactly that bit of pink squid hanging out of his mouth. So, lovely job.
Well, that was it for the day. As you can see, after running up with the boat, the ball actually slides all the way down to the anchor. The big ring, the ordinary ring, goes over the chain, bumps along the chain until it gets to the anchor. So Wayne is just pulling it in with the wind, you know, it's drifting the boat towards the buoy. So all you do is literally reach down like he's doing there and put it in the boat. Easy peasy. Bit of a problem we had, people. I wanted to move Mike's lightweight vintage Land Rover. So because we wanted to clear it, it's been there covered over with plastic. It looked like, you know, mobile skip, it looked like, covered over. And we wanted to tidy the garden up over here. Over there, we got his canoes, his kayaks and everything. So I drove up there and I thought, I'll be really careful. I'll pull up. No, I won't. I'll reverse. Bad news, because I reversed, and you know how I love moles. I reversed into the mole hills, and this is what happened. 8 inches deep in the wet weather. You can tell my hand down there. 8 inches all the way down. Lovely jubbly. This one, at least a good 8, might be more. So I rocked it, couldn't find the 4-wheel drive. Unbeknown to me, the front had sunk as well. They call it a lightweight, it doesn't seem that lightweight. So I found all boards here. I got my old boat jack. I don't think this works so well, but I jacked up the stern. Graeme, it's not a boat. I jacked up the back, thinking it'll take some weight off, because all you do is relax the spring hanger then. So the leaf springs relax. You should really jack under the axle. And I was going to put some bricks. I'd have needed a lot of bricks to go in there. I've now got to get about 6 barrows of earth to fill all these out. But at long last, I'll show you what we've done. Me and the wife cleared a spot round the back here, the back of the boneyard, and we got it in here. I already had a bit of concrete hard stand in there. It's that guy again, he gets everywhere. He's got the bits of the radio transmitters and stuff here, I guess, the aerials. But my old trailer, which I used to use, which I don't use now, so we cleared all this for the junk, the boneyard. We always want rubbish with properties. There is at least a 60-year-old trailer, which I used to pull ball hitch. I reckon that would come up and be camouflage painted and make a good ammo truck. So there's a project. And here's the old girl. It's warm, it started well, but it's got to have a new starter motor. So I got a drift, a big brass drift on it on the starter motor down there. Got the wife banging away at it, and eventually we got it started. And it does run okay, you know, engine wise it seems to run okay. It just needs a new starter motor. So that's locked. And what I do, we've got to cover all this up. He's cleaned the canvas as well. I put a couple of flower pots over that so that any sheeting we put over it covers it up. It doesn't split through the tarpaulin. I've got to clear some junk out there with more stuff I've got. So anyway, so this private car park area, plus I've got this one which I never use. It's called a Veldre job easer, so we can put that there, and obviously round the back as well. That's a lot. And look, you can go right up on it like this, and you can get on the top, cover it over like that, put the plastic over it, and even there, look, you got a bit of rain from last night. I think we got that okay, so we're going to cover this over. Thank goodness we got it moved. Look, it's got half my garden on the wheels. It is his project, which he has yet to start. We've had it about a year, I think. Wow, that is a project, isn't it? I thought that was on. It's not. But it started okay. It says it's only got 132 miles on the clock. Oh no, that's the time. 84,000. 44, is that? Nearly 45,000. So it is a project for sure. But there's not many of them left. So now, folks, I've got to come back over here. Tonight after dinner we'll cover over, and I've got to clear all this up. And all the moles around here, and when he comes out he'll have to come down this way round the trees, and he goes out through that gap there. And over here where he was parked, we've cleared out completely. It's where I had the boat. I've actually got the garden back. So we got the canoe there, this giant canoe. Cleared all this back out, starting staining the fence, rearranged the rockery. So it's almost worth me buying another boat and putting it in there, isn't it really? What do you think, guys? Should I have another boat? Right, in for tea and cakes, or in my case a few nibbles and a glass of white wine. Then after tea I've got to fill up. So at least we got it started, but I mean, you can't take it out on the road. I can't take the wife out on the road, and it stops and it goes click, 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 and we got to get a great big 6-foot iron bar and go bang, bang, bang on the starter motor again. Maybe somebody out there, one of you Land Rover enthusiasts, vintage ones, knows where we could go to get a replacement starter motor. Who knows? I know they get clubs and stuff like that. I should actually find out myself, but one of you guys might know, you know, where we get a Land Rover starter motor from. Oh, they're all the same starter motors from years ago. I don't know. Right, what else can we do? We've got a bit of the old big gear here. Doesn't get used now. It just doesn't get used. All this old stuff. I fancy going shark fishing with that. Maybe I should go shark fishing. Look, they've still got the original line on it, and use that one. And this one, people ask about, look, the ones that got away, 1985, a twin rig of hooks. Look at the size of the hooks. This was on West Palm Beach with giant bull sharks we official. Look how many twists the skipper put in the wire. It's like doubled number 19 wire. And that was when we were fishing for live baits and a shark took it and we did to the hook. Absolutely opened off. That one snapped off and that one's actually opened up. Yeah, that was doubled wire. Good old days, eh? Big fish. I did get one about 350. Right, guys. Let's have a little look around and see what else we can interest you people with. Hopefully not digging out Landrovers again. So going down this spooky looking alley. This is what the alleys were hundreds of years ago. Barely a shoulder width wide, as you can see, with the archway there. I walk through here and look at the brilliant old buildings. You know, I just love seeing old buildings like this, hundreds and hundreds of years old. And you check this out, they might not look that old, you know, with different types of windows in there, but check out the date on this one. This one is 1872, and it was indeed the bakery, by the look of it anyway. I walk further on up, listen, a village or town near me, I never even knew this big church was there. Great big church in Hampshire, and it's got that traditional sort of, I call it Hampshire type flint walling to it. And just up on the hills away from there, we do walks with the wife and Jack's the dog, and you know, general exercise, as it were. And a lot of it is flint. The flint is in the field. We see it when it's ploughed up. But what I was really looking for was a small building, and here they have a nice little courtyard. I've always liked courtyards. Look, almshouses, founded by Sir Edward Moore in 1624. How old is this place? And I imagine instead of flowers years ago, they must have had, did they have vegetables there? Different level of survival. And talking of survival, this is the building I came to see. It's called the Pest House. I think they said it dates back, as far as they know, wait for this, 1625. And it was built by one of the local landowners, I suppose. And they stored people there that were having, well, ailments, I'm going to call it. There's the entrance to it. You can actually get the key to it from the local card shop just in town. Very, very ancient building. I always marvel at how long these places stay up, you know, if they're maintained. This one's been renovated, got a little bit of woodworm there, and you can see the construction they used with the timber and the bricks and the pegs, wood pegs there, and not quite big steel bolts or anything like that. It's been renovated, some lead flash in there. I've never seen lead flash out that high. I guess it's been repointed in part of the renovation process. Looks like possibly the original roof. Not a big building. In fact, you see there on the inside, and of course, people living in there, if they died, they've only got to walk 3 feet or crawl 3 feet, and they pop in the grave next door. So in that is the pest house, where people would go if they had local ailments such as, wait for this, the Black Death, the plague, smallpox. I mean, did they build it to help the people in there, or did they build it, oh, it's head high there, and also as well as smallpox and everything, you could crack your head open on. How small were the people there? I don't get it, you know. Or maybe they were all hunchbacks, who knows. But I got the key from the car factory. I thought I've got to have a look at it because I love old buildings. And in we go. This was a room where people lived, were housed. And listen, there's nothing. You think we go fishing with a bivvy. Look, welcome to the Pest House. Originally an almshouse. It was for housed residents and travellers with infectious diseases. I think, were they banged up in there? I don't know. I've never heard of one, but listen, this pest house is only one of a handful left in Britain, apparently. Lots of ancient artefacts there. Did they put horses in there? I see the horseshoe. And there's nails. Oh my God, they could be straightened out and used again. I know. A brick from 1866. A brick there. Lots of different bits and pieces. It's all been renovated, and that's a view to the cemetery, and you can see all the old timbers. I guess these are all original old timbers. You know, I mean, we're talking over 400 and whatever, 50 years old. I think it's just amazing. Provided you keep the wood dry, the building is built to a certain specification, it will hold together. All sorts of ancient artefacts and stones there. Old wooden clothes pegs. Just nice to see. Visitors book. I think they had 5 people when I was there in May. So I thought I'd better put it in. Yeah, 4. I think there's about 5 people visited, of which I was one. It's just nice to see how it's been renovated totally. They are built in 1625. Suffers of the plague and other virulent infectious diseases. Oh my God. But by the 1970s, the Pest House was in a state of decay, and it was renovated. And I think that's a good idea. Hats off to the people that did all the renovation there, because once these old places are gone, I mean, they've gone for good, haven't they? You know, you've got the building specifications they've been built to. Somebody could always copy it and build a modern version of that if they wanted. And this lady, Charlotte Cole, actually died there February the 8th, 1916, aged 70, and they've kept the chair. Hopefully not she died in, but she sat in. It's back behind the camera there. Old honeycombs in the house, old artefacts, all a bit of history there. It's interesting because a lot of this was dug up locally by people, apparently, in the gardens. So it was a very, very old area. And I did see somewhere else that this town, which is Odium in Hampshire, sort of northwest Hampshire, I'd say, was one of the first mentioned in Hampshire in the 1066 Doomsday Book, I believe I'm right. So really old area. Look at the old beams. I mean, it's amazing the structures they built then. There's the chair. I'm going to say that's possibly mahogany, because I used to sell chairs like that. There's the view out the window. I assume if you had an infectious disease like the Black Plague, you weren't too worried about looking out the window. You'd be more interested in staying alive. And there you see it mentions about the local flint and everything that they use for building materials in the area. There's a field I walk up there, and when they plough it in the winter, it's absolutely full of flint. Brickwork at the hearth is an enormous fireplace. Well, there's no radiators. It looks like one of those two is an oven. Maybe they're both ovens, I don't know. But you have a fire, and that stone came from 13th century, from King John's Castle in North Warnborough, which is local. And you can see that along the Basingstoke Canal. The 13th century, that's some era. Massive fireplace. You'd need it with lots of logs, keep warm. And of course, once that door shut, or those only 2 windows, much of the heat would stay in the house, and of course you needed it for cooking. So there you go. I thought it was something different, the Pest House. It's all locked up. I returned the key to the card shop, and that's the end of that. But not finished. I look in the town, had a walk through the town there, and something different I found. Yes, it's another establishment. Here it is. It's called a creperie. It's for posh people who say, "Darling, I'm just going out for a crepe. I won't be long."
Right, hi there guys, Graham's popped in today and asked me about leads because he's confused about all the patterns, shapes, sizes, and he doesn't know what all of them are, which I thought he would do by now. So
No, I admit I don't.
what I'm going to show you here is a few different types. There's so many brands of leads and people out there doing them, so we start off with a shape everybody normally sees. That's called a flat pair swivel lead.
That's the one I use, that one.
Yeah, so you'd use that in conjunction with like a lead clip or maybe in free running on the line, which I'll show you a lead clip setup. So like this one. So this is what they call a fused leader as well, with weighted tungsten pieces on it to hold it down. And then with any of your leads with your swivels on, we are literally just clipping in there. And then with a lead clip, as I'm sure some of you might have had this problem, you push your lead on and then you've cast it out and brought back and your lead's disappeared. So they are designed that you can have it so you drop your lead, or what I suggest for most people, because you don't want to be dropping leads all the time for no purpose whatsoever, is if you push that home a bit, you can see that's quite tight.
Yeah.
But if that was to get caught in a snag and a fish really pulled,
Oh, it still comes off.
he's going to pull that off.
So it's still fish safe, as they
yeah,
say.
it's still
Yeah.
fish safe. So it's a semi-fixed rig. It's not a fixed rig, so it is perfectly safe to use at all the fisheries around the country, pretty much, who allow the leaders.
And then if they've got different fishes, they can always check, can't they?
Yeah.
The websites or
Check
whatever.
the websites, they'll always give you rules, regulations of what every fishery is different to what they do. So, alright, so that's on a swivel clip. And then regarding on sizes, so that's a flat pear swivel lead.
Now, why is that swivel? I've used these where they got the swivel jams in there. So what's the principle
A lot
of
of
that?
guys are fishing that, isn't it? What they call an inline lead.
Yeah.
So I've got another leader here just to show you that, because I thought you might ask me that. So that one you can see is just a ring swivel on the end, ready to go.
Yeah.
And then we'll thread that through up through here, but I'm going to make this easier by taking the insert out just to show you guys. So we're just going to thread that through, and then your swivel will sit. Normally, if I left that in there, it was the swivel pulls up inside there. So it's a semi-fixed rig still.
Yeah.
Or if you really wanted, like I do with a lot of my stuff, I take the centres out and I fish it like that.
Oh, really? Yes, like that. Yeah.
It's more free flowing for like that.
And why is that so thick? That sort of, what I call it, the
so it's
trace, the leader.
So it's a
whatever.
leader. So these were invented really. So places where you weren't allowed to use lead core. So lead core came out, which is like a braided material with a piece of lead through the middle for keeping it tight to the bottom.
Pin down, they call it.
Yeah. Whereas some people or clubs, the regulations or their rules don't allow you to use lead core. So
is that because of lead, or is just whatever?
I think because it's quite strong. If it's tied wrong, like spliced wrong, and your components are not put on it correctly, it becomes what we essentially call a death rig. So
yes,
if the fish was to get tethered,
yeah.
it wouldn't come off it. So that is the whole point of it. So if you use a lead core safely, it's no different to using these fused leaders. It's the same setups. It's designed that either your lead, like look how easily that'll come off if it broke off. It's nice and simple.
And the little tungsten bits, so people know.
Tungsten bits to keep the weight
just there.
on.
You can see it just there, that dark bit.
And no idea what that is. Well,
just
once
to lay it down.
These will look a bit coily at the moment because I've only just done them. But once you hang them on your rod and straighten them out, they will lie completely flat and straight on the bottom of the lake.
No difference between that and the black one? They're both the same?
Just colour. So that's what they call. I think this one's weedy green.
Yeah.
And then that one's just a clear. So personal preference to what you prefer. If you like clear, they do green. They do like a dark silt. They do a weed colour as well.
Yeah.
What I do with that is I'll tell you about some other lead. So that's what we call a standard pear lead. They do that also as an inline, but unfortunately I don't know why I didn't bring one over for you, Graeme. So they do that as an inline lead as well. Different weights going from probably an ounce to sort of 3 ounces, or sorry, bigger than that. We go up to 8 ounces if you really must.
Wow. More for distance casting?
I'd say general fishing these.
Yeah.
So not real distance. I'll show you some of the distance leads in a minute. They're a bit longer and tapered, so the weight on the distance leads are more at the bottom.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. I'll show you them now. So this is what we call a tournament casting lead.
Yeah.
So I'll put that on there, you see better. And if you look how bulbous the lead is and all the weight is on the bottom, so when you cast that, it's like a torpedo in the sky. It will just rocket out there. It's really good. So that's called a tournament casting, for right distance to get right out there.
Then we saw a £3 test curve rod.
£3 test curve rod.
Long distance.
Don't get me wrong, they do these tournament castings from, I think it's 1.1 ounce going up to whatever you like, 4 to 5 ounces to be fair. Then this one's called distance casting. Alright, I know it sounds absolutely mental, but you can see the difference in the shapes of the lead. So they just fly different in the air. So for you to recognise for yourself trying it, you'd have to really go out and try maybe
the casting.
Casting.
So like
casting to a point.
Right,
and you will find, so when you're casting a rod, to get the best out of it, you don't want to have too much weight, you don't want too little. As you'll know, Graeme, you want to compress your rod to cast it to get the best out of it. So finding the correct weight lead for distance is quite important, I would say, to suit your personal rod. So you could have a guy fishing a 2 3/4 test curve rod, and someone with a 3.5, because he's loaded his rod correctly, he probably outcast mate you with his 3.5 pound test curves if he's got a too heavy lead or not heavy enough, he's not loading the tip. So that makes all the difference within your leads and your fishing. So then we can move on to square pairs. So you do square pair inline and swivel. Reasons for shapes, again, I don't know really with the square pair, it's been around for a long time. Flat edges, essentially it will sit flat on the bottom. A lead sits on the bottom regardless, whether I wouldn't mind if it sat like that, like that. As long as it's on the bottom, it's on the bottom. So, but various shapes and sizes. I've got guys who absolutely love the square pairs, other people who just, majority, I'd say the most popular lead is probably the flat
Yeah,
pair.
that's the one I've got.
All right. Then we move on to these, so maybe like your river anglers might see these more, if you're river carpers or just general fishing. So these are what they call a gripper lead with the nodules on there, so if it does move, hopefully it'll fall into a place it doesn't want to move off as easy as some of these other leads, especially say like on a river. If you're using a round lead, it's more likely to roll.
It's going to roll, won't it? Yeah.
So as you can tell, it just wants to move on there.
They're made for carp, or are they made for the river scene?
They're made for the river, really. So
Yeah.
for they're what we call a gripper lead. So the idea that it grips. So these ones as well.
Yeah.
So these ones used to have a hole in like these. I quite like the hole in the lead for river fishing because you probably do the same, Graeme. I plug a bit of paste.
I was just thinking the same thing. Even in there, it's a bit of a depression.
Yeah, a bit of a depression.
Bit
in
of
there.
ground bait.
So these used to have the hole. I don't know why they started infilling them again, but you know, maybe design purposes. I don't know. So, but that's another great. And these run from again 1.1 ounce up to about 10 ounces, I believe. So
Wow,
fish are pretty heavy.
That's a
heavy
big river.
flow, yeah, on the river. So, but, you know, when the Thames is pushing, you couldn't even hold 16 ounces on the bottom. You know?
Yeah,
it's
if it's
all right
running.
fishable nearly. So, but that's just a little piece about the leads. There's so many leads in different variants and different companies. I'm sure you'll find one that suits you for your style of fishing. But if you pop in your local shop, I'm sure they'll give you all the info you need to know on a lead.
Well, you've got a good selection anyway. Anyway, you've got boxes and boxes of them. So, depending on the fishing, you can put them right, can't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. To where you're fishing, what rods you're using, and how far you're fishing out. So. Also, you've got the option of your back leads, which some of you guys might see these in the shop and think, what the hell are they? Look a bit funny. So the idea is you cast out your leads and your rods, and then you pop that on the line, so it's got like a little C shape. Just pop it through there, slide it on, and that will sink down to the bottom, which essentially then, let's show you off here. That was my main line. The idea is to keep your line pinned down from further back. So here doesn't look a lot, but over a long distance of 20-30 yards maybe,
Yeah.
that will be keeping your line pinned right down. So that's one style of back lead. There's loads of different types. So that's another one by Calder.
Are they still popular, or were they a sort of fashion thing?
No,
They
still
are
very
used.
popular, but obviously different scenarios of fishing to how they work. So this one you can see is just a little C-shaped clips. You put it over onto your line and pull that up and over. Unfortunately, they are one of them items of fishing that you will lose occasionally.
They're just
do
going to come off anyway.
Yeah, they do come off. So, you know, my advice is, yeah, you get these lovely packaged ones and everything. They're great. They work really well. Sometimes the cheaper option's better if you're going to drop them every now and again.
So you look at fish at distance.
Yeah.
Just under your rod tip is the back lead, one of these, one of
Yeah.
those like that, right? That's going to slide all the way down
Pretty
your
much.
line to the fish,
Yeah.
but it could slide into weed as it goes along if you're
Yeah.
on a weedy water. Would that be a way to describe it?
Yes, it would. So you also get another option called a captive back lead, and what they do is they attach it off the bank stick, say. You have a cord on it. You'd attach it onto your line, and when it pulls out.
Pops
the
out
clip
like a
and
little,
goes.
like an outrigger clip or something.
Yeah,
I'll
so
use an outrigger clip.
very similar. So Fox used to do it. It's all Fox's designs. So I haven't got them at the moment, but perhaps
Yeah, I
I'll
can
bring
see
some
that.
in and you can have a look.